everyone. Today we are going to be reviewing the final cards of the One Night in Karazhan expansion. This is going to go out on the day of the expansion release, so all the cards are currently out at the time. So our first card is Druid. Moonglade Portal, restore 6 health, summon a random 6 cost minion. So if you it's a 6 cost card, so the minion you get is random of the same cost, and you can restore 6 health. So it might be played in like a Yogg-Saron deck, but it's very random. So like the expected result is worse than just putting in a 6-drop that you would want. So it might be played in like a spell deck with a lot of spell synergies, but other than that, I don't think so. Another Druid card, the Menagri Warden. 6 mana, 5/5, battlecry, choose a friendly beast, summon a copy of it. It's it's a copy, so I'm assuming it retains all the buffs and stuff. So if you turn 5 Druid of the Claw taunt, and then turn 6 this, and your Druid of the Claw, let's say, took 2 or 3 damage, you're getting a 6 mana 5/5 with like a 3/4 taunt or 3/2 taunt. That's pretty good if you play it on curve with the Druid of the Claw the turn before. Okay. So if Beast Druid is a thing, it'll be played, but otherwise it won't. Okay. Now it's Hunter cards. This is a Hunter's Secret. Cat Trick Secret. After your opponent casts a spell, summon a 4/2 Panther with Stealth. So it's like the Panther, the 3 mana Panther, except it's after your opponent casts a spell, and because it's after they cast a spell, it'll dodge board clears. But the thing about it is, do you want a 2 mana 4/2? Yes, but like it has makeshift charge because it'll be summoned on your opponent's turn. So it can have charge, but by itself, I don't believe this card will be played. But with the next card, the Hunter card, Cloaked Huntress, your secrets cost 0, 3 mana, 3/4. There might be a secret deck where somebody plays this on turn 3 or on turn 5 with the lock and load, and then just plays a whole bunch of secrets and gets a whole bunch of secrets and plays a whole bunch, continues to play them. I could see that becoming a Hunter archetype, assuming that Hunters can pull off the combo with secrets and lock and load. Okay, so next card is a Mage card, Medivh's Valet. 2 mana 2/3, which are pretty good stats. Battlecry, if you're holding a secret, deal 3 damage. So if you get off the effect, it's like the best card in the game. Dealing 3 damage to an opponent's minion costs 2 mana usually. So Dark Bomb, 2 mana, deal 3 damage. But this has a minion as well. But the thing is, it's a Mage card, so Mage secrets are 3 mana. So to get off the Battlecry, you can't if you play this card on curve. So if you play 1-drop, 2-drop, secret, 2-drop with Medivh's Valet, it'll be good. But like later on, so it's like, I feel like it's deal 3 damage later on, or summon a 2 mana 2/3 on turn 2, right? Because it's like, you can't get this off on turn 2 ever, unless something weird happens, like it's a Tavern Brawl or something. Okay, next card. Paladin card, Silver Moon Portal, give a minion +2/+2, summon a random 2-cost minion. So, assuming 2-cost minions, there's a chance for Doomsayer, that's the first thing. But 2-cost minions are fairly strong. Other than that, they all have around 3/2, 2/3 stats. But other than, there's a chance for Doomsayer. And the +2/+2 is it really worth 2 mana? Like, I don't see why somebody would play this over Blessing of Kings. It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, your next card is Paladin, 3 mana, 2/3. If you're holding a dragon, summon 2/1/1 whelps. So, it's a Ravenfin Hunter that summons extra whelp if you're holding a dragon, but doesn't summon anything if you're not. So if Dragon Paladin, it might go in if they need a 3-drop, but why wouldn't you just play the Blackwing Technician, I think it's called, the 3 mana 3/5 if you're holding a dragon? But with the Darkshire person, stewarded, whatever it's called, the give 1 health minions Divine Shield, it could work, potentially. But I don't see why you would play this. There's other better dragon 3-drops. Okay, now it's priest cards. Onyx Bishop, 5 mana 3/4. Battlecry, summon friendly minion that died this game. So it's resurrect attached to a card. So if you remove resurrect from this, it's a 3 mana 3/4. So it's good stats with the resurrect effect, and by turn 5 something will have died that you would want to resummon. Like, even if you know 1-drop, or cleric, what's a 2-drop that do you play? You might play a wild pyro, but like the average stats out of here, if you summon back, let's say, a 3-drop on average, because there's 4-drops, 2-drops, and 3-drop, 2 to 3. You're almost getting 5 mana 3/4 and a 3/3 or a 3/2, which is very high. And priest needs to get on the board, so a tempo swing would be very helpful for them. Okay, next priest card, 4 mana 3/6, Priest of the Feast. Whenever you cast a spell, restore 3 health to your hero. So this is going to be very good against aggro. 6 health is generally hard to kill by minion damage when you're playing like a deck where minions have 1 to 2 attack. That's basically like half the board has to attack into this, and then the healing means that they will have to attack into this, otherwise it'll just heal you up. So it's almost 4 mana 3/6 taunt in a sense, which is a Fen Creeper. Do you want to play Fen Creeper? I don't know if you do, but if you do, here's one that heals you instead of having taunt. Like, I feel like it just will have to be killed unless you're at full already. Well, so it might be played against aggro if aggro is prominent, which it usually is. Okay, now it's a priest card that everybody is talking about. 2 mana spell, Purify. Silence a friendly minion, draw a card. So the keyword is friendly. You can't just silence an enemy. I don't understand why it wouldn't be silence an enemy or friendly, because even at that point, what's the matter with it? You have Ironbeak. Why wouldn't they make it a 3 mana silence, draw a card? Instead of playing Ironbeak, you get an extra card, opposed to having the 2/1. Like, it's just so bad. But they did say, Ben Brode said that he would not put, this card won't be able to be drafted in Arena because it's so bad. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, now it's on with the rogue cards. A Deadly Fork, 3 mana 3/2, Death Rattle, add a 3/2 weapon to your hand, and I believe the weapon is a 3/2 weapon. So, a 3 mana 3/2 weapon, I mean. So, it's value and it'll work with N'Zoth. Will it be played out of that? I doubt it. Okay. Now it's another rogue card, 1 mana, 1/1. Battlecry, add a random class card to your hand from your opponent's class. So it's just another burglar card. It might be played because it's a 1-drop, and if you need a 1-drop, here's a 1-drop. 1-drops are all sometimes just put in. It refunds itself. It's like the Undercity Huckster, except it's on the Battlecry instead of a Death Rattle, which generally is a better tag, but I don't know. Do you need a 1-drop? As a rogue, rogues generally get on the board on around turn 3 because of SI7 agent. I haven't seen many rogues recently. Okay. So now Shaman, 2 mana spell, Maelstrom Portal, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions, summon a random 1-cost minion. So it's a directly better arcane blast or whatever it's called, the mage spell that nobody uses. With spell damage, this card becomes great because spell damage on any 1 damage spells effectively doubles the amount of damage it does, which is why Druid with swipe, spell damage in Druid is so valuable, because if you up swipe spell damage by 1, it all of a sudden becomes a consecrate, and a frostbolt. It deals 2 damage to everything and 3 extra damage to one thing, right? So like stuff like this really benefits from spell damage. So if spell damage gets put in, it might be played. It's another thing to note, it's rare, which means that it won't be seen in arena where board clears are very highly valued. The 1-cost minion, 1-cost minions can be fairly terrible at some times, but they're generally okay. Okay, another Shaman card, 4 mana, 3/4, Wicked Witch Doctor. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random basic totem. So I think this might be played in, what's it called? If somebody makes like a spell damage, I know Ancestral calls one, but like Malygos type Shaman with a bunch of spells in it, maybe Yogg-Saron or something. It might be played just because it has some synergy with flooding the board. Like you could play this, and then you could play a bunch of spells, and then you could play Bloodlust the next turn and have all these tokens that gain extra attack. So it might be played, but I doubt it. Aggro Shaman's just too strong, and this doesn't support Aggro Shaman, therefore it's not played. That's how most Shaman stuff works. Spirit Claws, 1 mana, 1/3, has +2 attack while you have spell damage, so it's again another spell synergistic Shaman card. Spell damage can be got from the hero power, so on turn 2, it's a 1 in 4 chance for you to get a 3/3 weapon, which is very strong. That's better than Fiery Wind Axe, so it's very strong. But I just don't see it being played. People want to go Tunnel Trog, Totem Golem, Tuskar Totemic, whatever, you're dead on turn 5. Like, nobody plays anything else in Shaman, in my opinion. Like, all the control Shaman decks have failed recently, and none of these cards really help control. They're things you can put in control, but do they help control? I don't think they help control be better than aggro. It just makes them okay instead of terrible. Another Warlock card, Silverware Golem. If you discard this minion, summon it. Yeah. If discard becomes a viable mechanic, it'll be played. If it doesn't, it won't be played. Karahzan, summon a 1/1 candle, 2/2 broom, 3/3 teapot. So overall, it's a 5 mana 6/6 split between 3 things. It survives Consecrate, not Flame Strike, not Hellfire. So it survives about half or so of the board clear, survives Holy Nova but not Excavated Evil. So it survives about half of the board clears. So on that note, it might be a one-of in Zoo, just to refill the board if you get cleared, but I don't see a use for it. It'll be picked in Arena a lot, which will raise the consistency, because it's a strong card in Arena, so it'll help Warlock in Arena, but In Constructed, I don't believe it'll be played because you're either going to play Zoo or you're going to play some handlock style deck which doesn't use cards like this that much. Now it's a warrior card, warrior weapon, Fool's Bane, 5 mana 3/4 weapon, unlimited attacks each turn, can't attack heroes. So it's a 5 mana, deal 3 damage to 4 enemy minions of your choice. So if you add up the stuff, 3 damage is worth 2 mana. So for 4 mana, you should be doing 6 damage, which is what a fireball is. So if you think of it that way, this card is great, but you have to sacrifice your health, which is the problem. And at 5 mana, does 3 damage kill stuff? Not really, so you might have to attack stuff twice. So, it might be put in as a one-of board clear, but the thing is, this will be very common in Arena. It's a common weapon for Warrior that just clears the board. You can have a board, you play this on turn 5, you kill 4 enemy minions, or however many they have, all of a sudden you're the only player with the board, you win. Opposed to now, when Warrior, you attack once with the weapon, you're 1 minion ahead, but then you get low on health. But if you can clear all your enemy minions, then your opponent can never have a minion on the board because you can attack in with your minions and play a minion every turn, which puts you ahead, assuming they don't have a bunch of just cards that fill the board or anything. So it'll make Warrior stronger in Arena for sure. And it's another Warrior common card. Ironforged Portal, gain 4 armor, summon a random 4-cost minion. So random 4 cost, if you count it as 4 mana, 1 mana gain 4 armor, it's not the best. If you compare it to Flash Heal, it's 1 mana gain 5 health, which can be used on a minion, which is why it's more, but this is armor, which can stack higher, so I don't know if heals or armor are worth more. 2 mana for 5 armor with shield block. They're about the same. Healing appears to be valued higher. So I believe that this card won't be played because of the fact that armor can be gained in better ways using Justicar Trueheart and shield blocks. Okay. Now it's our first neutral card. It's a neutral legendary. Medivh the Guardian, 8 mana 7/7, battlecry. Equip Atish, Great Staff of the Guardian, which is a staff, a 1 mana, I believe doesn't matter, it's a 1 attack, 3 durability weapon that whenever you cast a spell, summon a random minion of the same cost, remove 1 durability. So weapon removal, if this card is used, will be used, and then this card won't be used, and then weapon removal won't be used, and then this card will be used if it's good, right? So it'll just go in a cycle until a balance is found. Okay. Now, Arcane Giant, 12 mana 8/8, costs 1 less for each spell you've cast this game. I believe this card will be used in a lot of decks, because if you think about it, right, every deck has about 10 or so slots that are spells. And if the game gets past turn 10, this card will just be like a 6 mana 8/8, which is good enough. Opposed to some legendaries are worse than a 6 mana 8/8. You would rather have a 6 mana 8/8 over like Gruul, which is like a 9 mana 8/8 or something. It's like, this card will be used in a lot of spell decks. Casting like 6 spells before turn 10 isn't that difficult, so this card I feel will be played a lot, even especially with like Yogg-Saron and stuff like that. Okay. Moat Lurker, 6 mana 3/3, battlecry, destroy a minion, death rattle, resummon it. So I'm assuming it resummons it for your opponent if you destroyed an opponent's minion, because otherwise this card would be played everywhere. But let's say it does summon it for your opponent. So it makes Purify better. if it summons it for your opponent, so you can silence it. But realistically, I feel like this will be a okay card, not that great. It might destroy, like destroying your own minion. Why would you do that? Does it resummon it with full? I'm assuming not. If it resummons it with full, then maybe you could makeshift heal your minion a couple turns later. But I doubt it. We'll see though. It's an interesting card. Next is Aviant Watcher, battlecry if you control a secret, gain +1/+1 and taunt. So it's basically only a Druid, Mage, and Hunter card. No, not Druid, Paladin, Mage, and Hunter card. So does Paladin want a 5 mana 4/7 taunt? Maybe. No, I don't think Paladin for 5 mana, if you're playing Dragon, there's the reduced cost Dragon. If you're playing Paladin secrets are hard to keep up. Like, a lot of them are just like your opponent plays a minion, like the good ones, right? Your opponent plays a minion, your minion dies, stuff like that, which are hard to keep up. So that's a Hunter secrets. You can keep up a Hunter secret. So does a Hunter want this? Not really. Mage secrets, you can definitely keep up ice blocks, stuff like that. Sometimes ice barrier, depending on what you're playing against. But the deck archetypes that play ice block, do they want this minion? Not really. So I don't see it being played. Next is 5 mana 4/4 Minagri Magician, battlecry, give a random friendly beast, dragon, and murloc +2/+2. So if you have one of those 3 archetypes, it's a 5 mana 6/6, which two of those stats can have charge if the minion hasn't already attacked or is sleeping. So it'll make the value of beast, dragon, and murloc go up in arena, but other than that, other than some crazy decks that are fun, I don't see it being played. Arcanosmith, 4 mana 3/2, battlecry, summon a 0/5 minion with taunt. So if you add that up, it's 4 mana 3/7, which is great, but minions with 0 attack just die. Like even Mugushan Warden, which is the 1/7 taunt, doesn't get played because 1 attack isn't enough on a taunt to do anything. It just stalls for 1 turn. Why wouldn't you play Doomsayer over this? Doomsayer, if they can't kill, will like kill their board, and if it can, it takes 7 damage, and this only really takes 5, and it costs 2 more mana, which I'm compensating for. So I just see Doomsayer take more than this, so I don't see it being played. Now it's Violet Illusionist, 3 mana 4/3. During your turn, your hero is immune. So if you get this card off before the new warrior weapon, it's literally just a 5 mana board clear. But keeping this card alive is difficult. 3 health is very low. Basically 90% of the 2-drops that are played will kill it. Every single 3-drop will kill it, and every 4 and up will all kill it as well. So it makes this card difficult to see being played, but it might be played in fatigue because you won't take any fatigue damage, so it might happen. Next card is Zoobot, 3 mana 3/3, battlecry, give a random friendly beast, dragon, and murloc +1/+1. So if you hit one of these 3 archetypes, you get it's a mech as well for those. So you could mass produce them with gorilla bots in standard because there's like no mechs. So if you hit one of those 3 archetypes, you get a 3 mana 4/4, which is good. So 1/1 of those stats could be charged potentially. The minion hasn't attacked already, and it'll just make the beast, dragon, and murloc up in arena better, like make the stats better. Next card is Pantry Spider, 3 mana 1/3 battlecry summon a spider. We're assuming the spider is a beast as well. So that's 3 mana 2/6 stats split over 2 things, so it makes Dire Doggy better. But you have to play this before Dire Doggy to make Dire Doggy the best possible, because it will summon next to it, not across the board. But it could see play in Zoo. I don't know if Zoo wants a 1/3 creature. If you taunt this up in Zoo, it might be hard to get through. It's like, it's 2 Voidwalkers without taunt, right? But the Beast tag, which is stronger than the Demon tag, because nobody used demon related cards. So sorry about that. But might be played in some Zoo like decks. 2 mana 1/3 Nether Spite Historian. Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, discover a dragon. So this dragons are 90% of the time like 7 mana plus creatures. So it's 2 mana 1/3, discover a large creature, which will be played in dragon decks. I believe this will be a 2 of in dragon decks. So if dragon decks are played, this will be played, but otherwise can look past it. 2 mana 3/2 Pompous Thespian, taunt. I don't see why this is in expansion. Expansions are supposed to have all cool cards, and this is just I don't know. 1 mana 2/1 Arcane Anomaly. Whenever you cast a spell, give this minion +1 health. I can see this being used in Temple Mage and some stuff like that. Like, even if it's just 1 mana this, let's say you have a coin, you coin, powered, shield this, you turn 1, 2, 4. It's better than Zombie Chow, but you had to waste a coin. So, I don't know. Might be played in some spell decks. Doesn't really affect Arena because spells aren't used. It's just a 1-drop that's pretty good. And then our last card, Runic Egg. 1 mana 0/2 Death Rattle, draw a card. Like, I don't see why you would play this, because why wouldn't you just play Acolyte of Pain? Acolyte of Pain can draw you more than 1 card. You don't have to activate it with an attack or a taunt buff. I just don't see why this would be played. That's it for the cards that are coming out. The rest of the cards, if you missed the first half of this, you should check that out. See all the other cards you're missing. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.